Hey guys, welcome to or back to my channel. In today's video I will be going horse shopping for the first time since very sadly losing my childhood pony Toby, who very sadly passed away last year. He had given me so many wonderful memories, but now I feel ready to start looking for my next four-legged friend. So over here is the first horse that we are looking at today. She is called Hazel. Hazel is a 14-2 chestnut Arabian mare and she is 11 years old. She was super nice and calm to be tacked up and led up the track into the arena where I could mount and give her a little pat. She was so good for me to mount and then waited until my cue to walk on, which in the advert when I saw chestnut Arabian mare, I will be honest, I was a little bit frightened, but she was actually so chilled out, so calm. She was amazing, doing walk, trot, canter all around the arena. I even asked for more of a faster canter and she was fabulous. She certainly had some speed, but the whole time I felt perfectly in control. I also did some barrels and then pole bending, just to see what she was like, just in case I ever wanted to do some Western competitions. After that, we set up some other obstacles to see what she was going to be like. She walked up onto this platform really nicely, where she got a pat. I walked over some poles, and then I also went through this little maze thing, I'm not really sure what it's called. And she also did a really lovely rein back. I then popped a couple little jumps on her, which she was also super good at. I then took her through this little water tray before dismounting and ending the session. So that was the end of my viewing with Hazel. So next up we went to the Silverglade Equestrian Centre to meet this gorgeous boy. So Blaze is a 16-2 Dutch Warmblood 7-year-old chestnut gelding. I started off by just going into his stable and saying hello to him, and then once he was all tacked up, we went into the arena to do some dressage on him. So I just warmed him up. He had a super nice trot, very floaty. You can tell that he's been very well produced, although you can still tell that he's a bit of a youngster. We had a couple of little spooks in the arena. He thought that the arena letters were very terrifying and might jump out and eat him, but he soon realised that there was in fact nothing to be afraid of. So once he was nice and warmed up, I asked for a slightly more big trot, or extended trot, or whatever you want to call it really. But I mean, look at that, in slow motion, he was really putting in so much effort, really using his body to give that really lovely big extended trot. He was definitely feeling really like a professional dressage horse. So after that, we went to do some jumping to see what he was like, which this was so cute. He jumped over the poles, but oh my gosh, he is such a powerful jumper. He was certainly very eager, but honestly so amazing. I mean, just look at these clips. Okay, and then lastly we went out onto their cross-country course to see what he was like for the final stage of eventing, which he was so powerful, amazing, going up and down all the hills. He was doing so well. We did have a refusal at the water, but I asked again a couple of times and he did this really cute jump into the water, and after that he was going through really nicely, which he still had so much energy even after doing the dressage and the jumping. We finished off by going for a gallop round through the fields, which we did get one little buck, but you know what, I forgive him for that one. And then soon after came the end of my viewing. So those were the only equines that I viewed on that day. So if we then fast forward to a couple of days later, I arrived at Steve's farm where there was already somebody waiting for me holding the horse that I was going to view. So they recommended to me that I lunge him before I ride, which I'm very glad that I did because I didn't really get him to stop for quite a long time. Here it is sped up because otherwise it would be really boring, but he did eventually slow down, which I then took him into the arena to ride him. So this is Bramble. He is a 17-hand stallion. He is 14 years old and he is a Percheron. I could certainly feel that he was a stallion. He had a very powerful trot, and then when I asked for Canter, it did take me a little second to regain control of him. He did come very close to the fence a couple of times, which at one point I did think he was going to jump it. But luckily he stopped, which then sort of knocked him out of the galloping frenzy. I then brought him into the middle and asked him to back up a couple times, which he did throw a bit of a fit about. As you can see, he reared a couple times, but in the end he did give in and do what I asked. So as you can see, we set up some jumps, which in hindsight was a very stupid idea. Don't get me wrong, he was a very good, powerful jumper. Just the thing is, he was a bit too powerful, which you are soon to find out. Because he then decided that it would be a good idea to bolt and then actually jump out of the arena and go galloping around all of the neighbouring fields. And yes, before you ask, I was absolutely terrified. I had absolutely no control and honestly thought that he was never going to stop. But eventually I managed to circle him round and very gradually slow him down and then get him back into the arena, where I decided that it would be a good idea to just get off and end it there before anything else could possibly go wrong. So I took him back and untacked him and then went home before going to view the next pony. So for this next one, we are over at South Hoof Farm to view this lovely little Cobb Cross Shetland pony. So this is Bobby. He is a 12 3-hand gelding. He was so small that I could literally just vault on from the ground. And he's actually only been backed quite recently. He's only 4 years old, coming up 5. But yeah, I had a little ride around on him. He has the cutest little love heart on his bum and the absolute bounciest trot. I did have a go cantering on him, although I was warned that he might throw in a buck because he is so young, which he did. But I could really tell that he was putting in so much effort with that little canter. I didn't ride around for too long because he's so young. I didn't want to overwhelm his little brain, so I gave him a pat and then got off. But then I decided to just have a bit of fun on the ground and run around with him and just do a bit of sort of liberty with him. And that was so much fun. I will put some clips in now. Once we were finished, I took him back out, untacked him, waved goodbye to him, and then went back home to make my decision. So I am now back at home in my home stable, and I have a couple of weeks to make my final decision on which horse I want to buy, and this is where I need your input. I would love you guys to help me to decide, so if you can let me know in the comments which horse you think I should get and for what reasons, that would be absolutely amazing. Anyways, thanks for watching, bye!